What are the loopholes? Helping the police to close the loopholes. But there is no such a thing called prosecutorial-led investigation. It means that when you say it's a prosecutorial-led investigation, you mean that these people were arrested by the prosecutor from the street. Is what it literally means. These people are not arrested by the police, they are arrested by the prosecutor. Actually, these people are brought there by Baloyi. And Gininda came later. Because Gininda listened to Baloyi. Baloyi is controlling. And the little did we know, indeed, they were talking about the mastermind. After I got out of the prison, I made investigation. I found out that the mastermind in this case is Advocate George Baloi. So the main issues here, element of dispute here, is about the firearm that shot and killed SENZO.
You're saying that, okay, let me listen.
The issues in this one. It's not about the AVL. Someone want
Court today was very, 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 very interesting, but stick with me, okay? Stick with me. I'll explain to you why I am going to tie what happened in court today with what Advocate therefore said on Umoya podcast, Ntikimazwai's podcast, okay? I might be saying it wrong. Please forgive me. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to let you know. Advocate therefore did not lie. He's not confused. Everything he said, well, what he said makes sense in this portion. I think with Advocate therefore you need to listen to him and pick out nuggets from what he's saying. He literally says, this is a prosecutorially led investigation. What does that even mean? Baloi is the mastermind. Today in court, Mr. Photographer, okay, under cross-examination of Mzansi Wemvula, photo number 31, exposes Baloi as the mastermind. Now, why do I say that? Here, you guys are watching the local inspection. Mr. Cameraman was there, taking all the pictures. Gininda was pointing here and there. He says he's never met Gininda. He doesn't know who he is. The person he knows is Baloi. Okay? And once again, prosecutorially led investigation, dun dun, okay? Baloi tells Mr. Photo Man, okay? And he says to him, you have to go back the next day. So this local inspection was on the 4th of July, 2025. Mr. Cameraman was there. According to him and Baloi, there was just too many people. The court is not going to understand everything. He has to go back on the 5th. He went back alone the next day without the defense team under the instruction of Baloi. Now, if that doesn't say prosecutorially led investigation, I don't know why that is. Now, kudos to Mzansi Wemvula for sniffing that one out. Because Mzansi Wemvula said to him, I don't understand. What is photo 31 and what has it got to do with this case? And he says, it's the guardhouse. Mzansi says, where's the guardhouse? It was an interesting back and forth exchange. But it made complete sense. What Mzansi was doing there was exposing Baloi for being a mastermind, for cooking. As Advocate Ngomezulu once said, the late Advocate Ngomezulu, they are cooking. One will be tempted to say that they are cooking. I am in possession of Kelly Kumalo's Section 205s. But let me know, do you guys agree with this assertion that Mzansi Unfiltered is making? And speaking of Mzansi Unfiltered, I got a comment that said, I made my husband subscribe to your channel. Listen, now that's a wife, okay? That's a wife who knows how to keep her home, okay? And the husband knows a happy wife is a happy life. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for getting your husband to subscribe as well as we grow. And thank you, of course, for 67,000 subscribers. We've hit it. Now we're on the road to 70,000 subscribers. Now ask yourself, do you have a husband? Do you have a wife? Are they subscribed to Mzansi Unfiltered? If they are not subscribed to Mzansi Unfiltered, now is a good time to take their phones and subscribe, okay? We are on a mission. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, I digress. I am busy digressing, but let's come back to the local inspection. First of all, That is what Omnisi brings up. Let me play the clip here.
On the 4th, Advocate Baloi, Advocate Mnisi said to me, I can take photos of where it's being pointed. So to me, it told me that I must take photos of where the court was going. So I took photos of where the court was going. Then even on the 5th, when I went back, I took photos of where I went and took photos on the 4th.
The cones which you put on the second scene, who told you that this coin must be here, that cone must be there, that cone must be there?
I was putting them in a place where when I took with a camera, I can able to see them, all of them, in one photo. That's how I placed the cones.
No, man, Mr. Mangai, understand my question. My question is, I'm not asking you why. I'm asking you who showed you that this cone must be there, that cone must be there, this cone must be here.
I decided where to put the cones because I was alone who was putting and taking photos.
Yeah, but now, why then did you, what would have been the narrative for you to put a cone at a particular place and then the cone at a particular place, the other cone at a particular place?
It was for me to explain, to show the court how the place is situated.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how, in my mind, when I put the cones, I wanted to show the court how that place, the court here, that there is a court, there is a police station, there is an address.
Okay,
that's how I came to the conclusion.
Yeah, look, Mr. Mangai, in the greater scheme of things, the court was there. We made our own observations, do you understand? We understand where Brigadier Kininda pointed to what he pointed out. We understand where Mr. Subia pointed to what he pointed out. Showed what he pointed out in this inspection in log. Do you understand? We make our own observations. Do not influence our mind.
No. Let me explain. He was here. We were not there.
Yeah, no, but I think we make our own observation whether this is a standalone thing or what. Yeah, that's the reason why we came here, especially to see for ourselves.
The police.
You understand?
I hear you. I don't know if Brigadier Kininda was there because no one pointed to me that this is Brigadier Kininda. I don't know him.
So here's what happened. Umnisi, as you heard, explained to Mr. Manganyi that, listen, all you had to do was take photos of what is being pointed out. And then he responds and says, I don't know who Brigadier Kininda is. Okay, even if Brigadier Kininda was pointing here and there, nobody said, oh, by the way, this is Brigadier Kininda. But nobody asked him that question. And this is why I'm intentionally using the clip of the local inspection where Brigadier Kininda is pointing out on that day, the 4th of July, 2024. And the reason I'm using that is I don't know what's wrong with Mr. Cameraman. But if he didn't see Mr. Main Character, then how did he know that this is Muzisibia and let me take photos of Muzisibia? The Brigadier was talking the most, okay? He always is, we know that. How does this man then go about and say, I don't know who Brigadier Kininda is? To me, that sounds like a script that he was told, that he has never, ever, ever met the Brigadier. He doesn't know who he is. He's just there to take photos. Or did he go take the photos with the Brigadier? And now all of a sudden he's emphasizing, I don't even know who he is. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Allegedly, of course, because my spidey sense was raised by his response, because that was not Nisi's question. Nisi's question was, when the Brigadier is pointing, you were supposed to take the photos. His response, I don't know who the Brigadier is. So why were you there if you weren't taking photos of the entire discussion? Everyone is listening to one man. Fine, you don't know who he is. Everyone is listening to one man who happens to be pointing a lot, who happens to have main character syndrome, who happens to be talking the loudest. And nothing about that moment said to you, let me take a photo? You know what? Then Baloi gets to look at the photos you have and he says, oh my God, you skipped a whole portion. You've got to go back tomorrow. This is what I want you to take. Let's continue listening on, because who is the mastermind indeed?
Yeah, well, that is not a big thing. Now, page photo 30 and 31. Yeah, photo 30 is that photo with the chicken. I would have asked you what ultimately happened to that chicken, but I realized that it was walking towards the fence. Now you're saying that Mark F is a guard room. Not so?
F, it's a cone that represents where there's a guard room. I'm
Yes.
trying to show the court that this is there's a guard room there where it is.
So the guard room is at the place where that cone is.
Yes, the cones is in front of the guard room.
I call him Mr. Manganyi. Where's the guard room there at that cone? Where that F letter is pointing at that cone? At that cone, where is the guard room there? Unless maybe I'm a little bit, but I'm sure I'm not. I don't suffer from any eye challenges. Where's the guard room there?
On photo 31, if you look,
At kwisithombe sesi-31 uma ngabe
if you
ubheka
look to your left,
esandleni sakho sokunxele
there's a guard room there.
athi khona ke indlu ihlala bomatshingilane ke lapho.
So the
Do you
door-
perhaps have a photo, Mr. Manganyi? You know, now you're putting this court in a very serious predicament because all that we're seeing there are little two reddish things that are standing there, and then there's that letter E that is pointing at some, I don't know whether that's an electric box or what, but is there a photo in the whole entire album, just to demystify us, that clearly depicts the existence of that guard room there?
I have to check on my photos if there's a photo that shows the thing, because I'm not checking. I don't have all my photos here, but on my, I can see that there's a guard room there. There are security.
Well, I can pay you out. Actually, I can bet, not pay you out, because if I say pay you out, it means I tend to agree with you. All that I see there, and I don't intend to argue with you, are two reddish cones that are whitish on top, and there's an electric box there where that letter E is pointing. That letter F is pointing to a cone that is in the middle of the road, and you are saying it's a guard room there.
If I can show the code, yeah, this is that boom gate. Yeah, it's that thing of a boom gate where the security, when they close that thing, they've got a stop on top here. If they close it,
Yes.
then you will see the stop, then
Yes,
the gate will
yeah.
be closed. The people who opens and closes it is the security guards that's always there in that room.
But that's the reason why I'm saying to you, is there a photo in your entire photo album now?
Don't know English.
You
Your
don't know.
spirit is half naked.
You hesitate, Span, and I hesitate. If you hesitate, I go back.
We all once hesitate.
And when I
Okay, so you guys remember Umnisi Wemvula and yesterday when he used the word pains and my lord pinned and pinned and pinned on that word. But guess what? It looks like Umnisi Wemvula's English has recovered today. Okay, he is back from the shock of accused number 3 wearing leg irons without pads, and that he refused, and that they had to drag him and carry him into the court. Guningi, right? But his English is back today, and he says, Mr. Photoman, what do you mean the cone is a guard room? Because all I see is a cone on the road and a chicken. Where is the guard room? And you can hear the photographer struggling. Okay, he is struggling to explain the explanations. That no, the cone. What does the cone resemble? Because He didn't even put the cone in front of the guardroom. So now he has to say, okay, no, but if you see the boom box, the boom, what is it called? The boom. That one. It's got a stop sign on it. And that indicates that over there is the guard room. If you look to the left, and Miss is like, nope, it's not going to work. You're going to have to bring me your photos. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Missy forces the hand of the photographer to bring the entire photo album. Brilliant move, Missy. Because what other photos are there? Because obviously you and Advocate Baloi picked and chose what made sense to your storyline. But what about Moses Sevilla's storyline? That is why, if you remember when they did the inspection in Loco, I said the defense should have had their own photographer. Because this is a state photographer. Is he neutral? Or is he really taking photos the way it's supposed to be? Because he can't be taking photos to prove that Gininda and friends torturized accused number 1 and 2. There's no way they would incriminate themselves. There's no way. But that is my feedback for what happened in court today. Of course, there's other moments. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because you already know Guningi, right? But let me ask you this. Do you agree that Baloi is the mastermind? If you've made it this far in the video, you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Get your spouses to subscribe. Let's do this. Bye.